Hi, I'm Allie, and this is Wisdom for Living. 3 minutes of your week, wisdom for a lifetime. Rosh Hashanah is coming in 6 days. In less than a week, we'll be wishing each other a Shana Tova Umetuka, a good and sweet new year. Now, why the need for 2 words, good and sweet? Isn't sweet automatically included in good? Why not just Happy New Year? It's the most foundational concept in Judaism, that God is one, that everything that comes from Him is ultimately for the good. God is all-powerful. God is all-purposeful. If something happens in our life, we can be sure that whether or not we can see it, it's for the ultimate best. But let's face it, we live in a world of seeming duality. On one end, wonderful things happen to us. Healthy children, happy marriages, financial security. And on the other end, incredible loneliness, difficult divorces, financial insecurity. So when we say Shana Tova Umetuka, a good and sweet new year, we're asking God, we know all's for the best, but also let us experience it as sweet. Let us experience the sweetness of the events in our life. Don't give us pain. But we also know that we do experience pain. That's the reality of our lives. And that's why we do a very interesting thing. We dip an apple in honey. Why? Because an apple, it comes from a tree, it's sweet, no problem. But honey comes from a bee, which is inedible, and it also stings. It hurts, because the sting of a bee brings us a different kind of sweetness. An apple, sweet, no problem. The sting of a bee brings a sweetness that can only come when we're being tested, when we're being challenged. The bottom line is we don't want challenge, but when we get it, we understand and see ultimately that parts of our personality comes out, depth of character comes out, integrity. It's like our potential goes from latent to realized. And that's the difference between the sweetness of an apple and the sweetness of honey. Something deep inside of us is brought out when we're tested. I have an exercise that I like to do with a lot of my clients. I'm going to sum it up as X and Y. It goes something like this. If X hadn't happened to me, then I wouldn't know Y today. If I hadn't experienced X, then I wouldn't be Y. In other words, if I hadn't experienced this difficult health situation, I wouldn't have gratitude for the basic health that I do have. If I hadn't experienced the pain of raising this child, I wouldn't know what I know today about what it means to be an unconditional giver. If I hadn't experienced this incredible financial insecurity, I wouldn't know what it means to be grateful for the small things in my life. If I hadn't experienced X, I wouldn't know Y. You do it. Sometimes the sting of a bee hurts too much and we just can't make the X and Y connection, and that's okay. Other times we say, listen, God, I'll take away the depth of character. I don't need the integrity so much. Just take the test away. That's also normal. But if we dig deep this Rosh Hashanah and we truly contemplate what it means, that sweetness can only come from challenge, we'll understand that it's true. If we don't experience vulnerability, pain, and challenge, then we don't tap into latent parts of our personality that otherwise would go unrealized. This Rosh Hashanah, I wish all of you a good and sweet new year. A good new year of revealed goodness and a sweet new year, remembering that even when you're stung, even when you're challenged, never forget that there's an incredible sweetness that comes out, even sweeter than the apple itself. Happy Rosh Hashanah, a good and sweet new year for you, your family, and all of the Jewish people.